All right, what's up, YouTube? Today's video is going to be about how to scale your home service business from $0 to $10,000 per month. Now, before we get started with this video, I just want to say most people think $10,000 per month is very unfeasible, and especially for a home service business, it's very difficult. But from personal experience with a couple of minor tweaks, it's actually way easier than you might think. Now, I was stuck at the 5K mark for such a long time, but with a couple of minor tweaks, I was able to break past that and strive towards my beginning goal, which was $10,000 per month. Now, I want to help you guys reach that goal as well. So in this video, I'm going to be going over three main points about what I think are extremely important aspects of businesses and how you can strive to probably break past the 5K mark and push yourself closer to the $10,000 per month mark. So the first point I want to talk about is tracking everything. Everything needs to be tracked. If that's expenses, profit, customer acquisition costs, business costs, marketing rollout costs, marketing rollout schemes, everything. Every single thing you do in your business needs to be tracked. This is a mistake that I made for the longest time. I had nobody to tell me about this stuff, so I want to be the one to tell you guys about this stuff and hopefully improve your business. Now, I wasn't tracking my profit, expenses, advertising costs, customer acquisition costs, everything. I wasn't tracking any of those for the longest time. And it honestly bit me in the ass so many times. I was just like all these new business owners. I fell in love with the revenue and not profit. And I'm sure most of you guys watching this video may have had the same problem when you guys were first starting out your businesses. Or if you're first starting out, beware of this issue. It's a very common problem with new business owners. Now, always remember, the money you see coming in is not the money you make. You always have expenses to pay for. You have marketing schemes to pay for. Just like I mentioned before, you have a lot of expenses. And most people don't take account into every single expense they have. Even lunch. When you go out for lunch when you're working, that's an expense right there. Nobody's covering that. You're self-employed, you're paying for that yourself. Now, one thing that I made a big mistake of was not factoring hidden costs, pricing too low without properly understanding my profit margins. Remember, if you're not tracking your costs, expenses, revenue, profit margins, you're technically flying blind in the business. And this is obviously a huge problem for business owners, as you guys probably know. If you're flying blind in the business, you have no idea where your money is going and how much money you're actually keeping in pocket. Now, this will drive your business straight to the ground if you don't act quick. So now I'm going to give you guys a list of what you need to be tracking. These are just the basics. You probably have a lot more stuff depending on what business you're in. I'm in landscaping personally, so these are what I track. These are just the bare minimum. I have a lot more that I track now, but these were the basics that I first started with. Profit estimations, expected expenses, client lists, making a full list of all your clients, dates, addresses, names, everything. All that matters with client lists, because if you need to call somebody up and you don't know their name, that's a bad look for the reputation. We'll get more into that later in the video. Advertising plan. Making an advertising plan is so important. When you're going to start your rollout, when you're going to end your rollout, how much you're going to spend on each part of your rollout. Everything is very important. Pricing strategy, how much you're charging for your contract clients, your one-time service clients, everything like that, everything matters. You need to have a consistent pricing. So one actionable takeaway from this topic is I believe that everybody should be tracking their stuff using a spreadsheet or sort of like an AI planner, anything. Whenever you have time this week or in the near future, just create a spreadsheet and just put the headings: profit estimations, expected expenses, client lists, advertising plan, and pricing strategy. Just those 5 simple topics will start you off, and then you can obviously add from there. But just fill out all your information there based on your business, and I promise you it'll help you out in the long run. Okay, so point number 2 of this video is going to be reputation in your business is everything. Now, this is one thing that I've been focused on since the very beginning of the business, and it's something I honestly overvalued for a while. It's hard to overvalue reputation, but I'll get into how I did that in a second. But reputation will make or break your business. 60 to 80% of all new leads come from word of mouth, and this is all solely based on reputation. Now, the one mistake I made when I was focused too much on reputation over profit when I first started the business is I was undervaluing my services. Now, what I mean by this is, say if someone would say, "Oh, do this service," and at the beginning, I didn't know how to charge properly and how to charge for additional services and upcharging and stuff like that. So I would just do it for free just to build my reputation, which is a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing. Remember, everything always comes with a cost, no matter what it is. You have to have consistent pricing. This builds trust between you and your clients. And say if somebody refers you to their friend and you charge them a completely different price than you charge that person, that's inconsistency. That's bad for reputation. Obviously, people aren't going to trust you after that. They're going to be, "Oh, this guy's pricing me different here, different there." How are you supposed to build a positive reputation like that? You need to remain consistent and don't undervalue yourself, obviously. So how to build a positive reputation? Always deliver your best service. Ask for Google reviews. If somebody searches you up on Google and you have positive reviews, they're 100% more likely to call you than if you don't. Fix mistakes fast. Now, I have an example for this one. Last season, when me and my partner, we were doing some fall cleanup jobs here, like here and there, and there was an issue with the payment processor. So basically, there was an issue there, and the customers were very unhappy about that, and it ended up leaving like a bad taste in their mouth. So I kind of went above and beyond, and I brought them like donuts the next day just to kind of smooth over the problem, and they were very happy with that. They turned into consistent clients after that, and I think it really just builds a good reputation because now if somebody asks, "Oh, how did you like these people who came by? How did you like that guy's business who came by and did work for you?" They'll have something positive to say instead of something negative. Then maybe that person that they spoke to will and ask them to come do some work for them, and then it's just a snowball effect, you know? Positive reputation equals more clients. And one other thing I want to mention is be active online in your community groups. This one's very important. Say if there's like a local food drive or something like that, maybe look into being a sponsor for that. If there's kind of like a local donation going on for something that happened in the area, maybe consider dropping a donation or something like that. It will only be a positive reputation. None of this stuff can hurt you. You have to be going above and beyond. One thing I did last season for my clients is I made Christmas cards for all my clients, handwritten, each like a little note, and I dropped them off, hand delivered them to each door. That's something going above and beyond. And the amount of messages I received from all the clients were so grateful and so happy, and it overall made me feel so good because I figured out I did something good, and I'm obviously building a positive reputation from that. So always remember, reputation will make or break your business. Okay, so the last point I want to go over in this video, I'll be making a part 2 to this video as well because I really want to go over maximizing outreach and marketing strategies that I've implemented that can help you guys out as well. But the last thing I want to talk about is discipline is the fuel for growth in your business. Your business is literally unscalable if you're not disciplined. Now, always remember this, without tracking, you'll lose money. Without focus, you'll lose business. And without discipline, scaling is impossible. So now, some strategies that I use for staying disciplined. When the busy seasons come around, I always like to uninstall social medias off my phone just so my main priority is on making money and the business growth. Now, this is something you should be doing as well, because if you're running the same business as me and you're scrolling on TikTok all day, and I'm out here logging all my expenses, all my costs, calculating new profit margins, maximizing outreach. Who's doing better? Obviously me. We're not in an easy industry here. There's a lot of competition around here, and competition is everything though. When the market's competitive, that's when it gets fun. Honestly, I really enjoy the competitiveness. I think it drives me to be better, and it's overall just very fueling for me. That's why I always strive to be the best in this business. But now, a couple strategies that I use to remain disciplined and consistent in the business are block time out to do things you need to do, set aside certain time throughout the day where you can just be fully laser focused in and just focus on your business and growth and everything like that. You need to be sticking to a schedule. That's something important that I've learned over these past few years. Always set out, block your time obviously for your clients and stuff like that throughout your day, and just remain disciplined. One thing that I learned over the past few years are I'm in landscaping business like I mentioned before, but whenever there's like say an on-call service and I'm not doing anything and it's local and it's just like even if I don't want to do it, I'm still going to do it. It's just like if you don't want to go to the gym, you're still going to go to the gym. You have to be disciplined and you have to be just ready to go at all times. Because if I'm not going to be the one to do it, somebody else is, and therefore they're gaining more business over me. And how can I let that happen when I'm just sitting there doom scrolling on TikTok? Obviously, I'm going to make the money, do the business, gain the reputation. It's all a plus, you know? Why not do it? And one other thing I want to mention for this topic is the boring work is the stuff that makes you rich. Uninstalling TikTok and focusing on a spreadsheet, that's what makes you rich, and that's what puts you over all your competitors. And now with the new implementation of AI and how popular that is, always be systemizing things. It just saves time, and systemize everything you possibly can. Like for example, I was using Google Sheets before for my all my logging and stuff like that. But then I moved to Microsoft Excel because I learned how to use it. I learned all the functions, and I learned that systemizing stuff is so much more efficient on that than it was on Google Sheets. And always take accountability for your actions. Remember, in this industry, there's never any mistakes, it's only lessons learned. That's something that took me a while to understand. And if you have somebody who's in the same industry as you and you need advice or anything, always be open to advice and be open for criticism. Not everybody's perfect, everybody makes mistakes, like I mentioned. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm honestly very happy with where I am right now. And I'm excited for what's to come in the future. So, if you guys learned anything from this video, consider giving me a subscribe on YouTube and also follow me on Instagram. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to DM me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. My Instagram will be in the link in the description. And I hope you guys have a good day and stay locked in and stay motivated.